Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are just waiting here, 5 minutes left for our next game, which is Mexico versus England. And they're still warming up here, showing our awesome audience there. My name is Exterminate. I'm here with my wonderful two people who are still having their dinner because we're super busy.
No, we're totally professional. I am Captain Malice. Alongside me producing for us is Dog Mistress. Coming up here for the first of the, fourth quarterfinal. Got there in the end. Currently on the Roller City track, we have the USA versus Wales. I have it on good authority. Wales have scored points already, which is very good for them. Previously, we had Argentina versus Australia. Australia victors here on the M14 track. And it was France victorious over Canada over on the Roller City track. So within the next hour and a half, we should be going through and finding out who's our quarterfinalists. But over to you as for the Team England roster.
Let me just take you through them. We have number 000 Omar Gerd, 0191 Brains, number 10 Charlie Scraplin. We have number 100 Alien Al, 101 David Waterman, 17 Sully, 2 Shrooms, 40 Don, 5 Fish, 60 John Kirkham, 6283 Spectral, 666 Reaper, 7 Thomas Banks, 747 Scooby, and number 76 Illbilly.
Yeah, and for Mexico, skating in their black and green, number 1 Dino Roar, number 16 Soy Tubero, 164 Carl LeFleur, number 18 Michael, 25 Dr. Manhattan, number 30 Argstrom, 316 Trash, 47 Silencio, number 5 Pablex, 51 Naked Alien, number 6 G.I. Joel, 69 Party Boy, 57 Nahual, 86 Drigger, and 88 Chino. That is the Mexico roster. I've had the pleasure of calling 2 Mexico games already this weekend. Very interesting team, good mix of experience and skill throughout. Should be a very interesting test here for England.
Exactly, the Mexican team definitely gave Germany a run for their money.
Oh yeah, in control from the first whistle almost to the last. Very much, you know, knew what they had to do to get the differential to be here, had a game plan and executed it.
Exactly, very nice. And I had the pleasure of calling one England game, and I've seen them play a couple of times. Again, of course, England has a lot of, well, I'm not going to say a lot of men's leagues, but they do have some very experienced men's teams there, and it definitely shows in the way that the English are playing together.
Yeah, there's a healthy mix of teams represented here in the team squad, but there are 2 solid cores, I'd say. There is a contingent in the 20, I believe, of 7 New World Order skaters from Manchester Roller Derby, and I believe 7 skaters from Southern Discomfort Roller Derby. So there's a healthy chunk of each team that are very watching, and obviously Lincolnshire have several skaters. I'm going to say 4, but Twitter will correct me within seconds because that's how the internet works. But I think 4 from Lincoln as well. So, you know, 3 leagues making up the lion's share of Team England. Obviously, you have Sparky here representing for Middlesbrough as well. And I'm sure I'm forgetting someone from another league, and it's going to be Teesside Skating Base. What Middlesbrough is, I knew it's somewhere with Teesside. So, as I said, you were saying there's so many more leagues in England, but very closely represented from, you know, a much smaller range.
Yeah, definitely true. And like I said earlier, it really shows in the way that they're working together, that they obviously have all of this experience. And, you know, if you've watched any of the previous World Cups, obviously this is not their first game. It's not their first World Cup here. And it definitely shows. But like we said as well, I mean, Canada was very high in the top 10, and France just beat them this afternoon. So I'm really excited to see what the new top 10, what the new top 5 is going to be this weekend.
Yeah, Mexico more than capable of causing an upset here. They have that ability. I'm concerned considering the Canada game yesterday if they have the discipline, because they were very penalty heavy against Canada, and that lost them that game. Carl LeFleur, though, leading the line here with the first jam. Very experienced skating with New York Stock Exchange, and let's see how this goes for them as we enter the first jam. Carl LeFleur, 164 for Mexico. David Waterman, 101 for England.
And again, you can see here on the stream, we're about to start in 6 seconds. And again, that pivot line start. It's something that we've actually seen. We haven't seen in roller derby a lot anymore, but this weekend it's been, at least yesterday and today, we've seen a lot of them.
Something I think both these jammers would actually appreciate. They both like a run-up, get the momentum. As you see, Warman at the front, gets momentum, spins, lead jammer England. Carl Lefou, though, out as well. Only about half a track behind, maybe just a third.
Just knocking down that final blocker there in front of him. And again, we're not playing for score differentials anymore. And I think that some of them are still slightly thinking of that. They're like, oh, we're still playing for the score differentials, calling it off immediately. Yeah. This is really about who takes the win. 2 points scored by England, 0 for Mexico.
First jam of the tournament for Fish, number 5. He has not played any of the group stage games. So an unknown quantity potentially for Mexico here to deal with.
Exactly, they haven't been able to watch him yet. Silencio, number 4-7, on the line for Mexico.
For those just joining us from Mexico, good morning to you. This is the M14 track at the World Cup as Silencio gets lead jammer for Mexico.
But he is hit out right at the end of the engagement zone there. It's recycled all the way back by Shrooms, the number 2 for England. And it might actually be Fish who gets out of that pack first.
Shrooms, though, at the back of the pack, drawing back Silencio and forcing a cut. This jam will go the full 2 minutes. Shrooms very happy with getting that cut track call. Now Fish is on, I believe, a scoring pass here.
Just his teammates deciding on the kind of offense they're going to do. Are they going to wait it out? Yeah, that is a back block called there on Shrooms.
Yeah, goes
a little bit too enthusiastic with the offense.
From hero to villain there, forcing the cut track and then picking up a back block himself. But it's okay, as Ilbilly is returning to track and England back up to a 3-wall. 4 blockers for Fish to beat from Mexico.
And as you can see on our screen, the blockers for England are already lining up again, expecting Silencio to get back, and he does.
However, Ilbilly drops Silencio onto the outside and draws him back. Fish re-enters in front of Ilbilly. No penalty there, obviously.
Silencio running into his own blockers. But again, Ilbilly is there in front of him, and Silencio makes it out of the pack. No lead whatsoever, as Fish was already out, scoring points.
30 seconds remaining on the clock here. Runs straight into Brains, does Silencio. Brains takes the hit well, holds him, and pushes him into Ilbilly and leaves him off track with the assistance of Shrooms, who does the run back.
Once again, here is Silencio in the back here, trying to just physically push through those blockers there, just trying to get as low as he possibly can to get through those tall English blockers.
Yeah, he is going to get points here.
He was out there. That is a no pass, no cut called on him. 4 more points on the board for Mexico.
You are now seeing there the whistle for the penalty being issued to Brains. Causing a little bit of confusion on the England bench. 000, oh my God, almost leaping onto the track to get in position, but not his whistle. Eager Beaver, eager Beaver. First points on the board for Mexico. They've got 4 here. These are now full regulation hour-long games. Those who've been watching us with the group stage. Full games, so the clock will stop for official reviews and timeouts. And we will have official reviews.
Yes. Alex Storm out almost immediately on the whistle. First lead so far for Mexico in this game.
Second.
No, second lead. I'm just completely making that up.
They had a lead last time, but lost it due to the penalty.
Oh, yes, that was it. And Scraplin also out of that pack.
Credit where credit's due. Dr. Manhattan did an excellent job to slow Scraplin down. But there, picking up a cut track penalty is Alex Storm, who's going for a 30-second sit-down. So again, Mexico having the lead, but England more than capable of forcing penalties.
Scraplin there tiptoeing the inside and then tries to do the same on the outside, but gets hit out. Recycled all the way back here. And there he is in the front again, stretching that pack. We've seen a lot of very long packs here yesterday as well. Scraplin out, scoring a grand slam.
4-on-4, the only one currently in the penalty box is Alex Storm. Alex Storm standing, though, should return shortly as Charlie Scraplin is knocked off. No, not knocked off. Inside, wonderful toe stop work there by Sudden Discomfort's jammer. Jamming here for England.
We seem to see a repeat of the previous jam here. Lead going to Mexico. Lead lost due to a penalty. And another full jam.
This, in my opinion, potentially plays to England's advantage. Mexico played earlier and maybe going to be suffering a bit more from cardio after a tough game against Canada. England been in cruise control, been in control of all their games so far. So potentially, longer jams may run in the favor of England.
Exactly. We might see who has the best endurance here if they keep this up. Already seeing some tumbles here on the track, as you can see on the video footage. Ace-Bet, the coach, is telling him, you know, just keep going.
Well, he's got no choice. He can't call it off.
No, exactly. It's like, take it easy, but, you know, just keep it steady, keep it going. And trust your blockers.
Shout out to Sucker Punch Skate Shop, the largest Derby-owned and operated store in Europe. You can buy from them online and in their shop. Physically heavily involved in the European Derby community on a number of levels, known for their reliable service, honest advice, competitive prices, top quality products, and huge product range. That is Sucker Punch Skate Shop.
Currently, Brain still in the cheese ball bearings penalty box there, but is about to rejoin on track to help his jammer out there. We have number 17, Sully, jamming for England.
And Sully on the toes, stays inbound, upright, and lead jammer England.
Whereas Soitupero is still stuck there in the front of that pack. Look at those English blockers, just being so incredibly quick on the reform.
Now Hall heading to the penalty box there. So Mexico down 2-3. Naked Alien, Pablex falling to the front, but can't slow Sully down. Naked Alien on the chase, gets the hip check, but not enough.
Just barely stays inside there, very nice. Soitupero passes him, however 5 points scored by England. And this jam is called off.
2 lead jams apiece as Waterman returns to the track as the jammer. Chino takes the star here for Mexico. 4-on-3 blocker advantage in favor of England. Pivot line nearly start. Waterman feeding Chino into the English wall before bulling through the Mexican one himself. Oh, big counter block there from Mexico, and I believe that was G.I. Joel. G.I. Joel from Texas Smith rolled out with a big counter on Waterman. And again, with the assistance of number 18, Michael, knocking Waterman off on the inside.
But he does manage to get through at 1 point. Waterman taking up the lead for England. Yeah. Oh, look at him go. Chino almost out as well.
Yeah, looks like Michael getting a penalty, as did G.I. Joel. Waterman calls the jam, but does he get it in time? He does just.
Okay. You can see Chino suddenly speed up, like making really big movements with his arms, just trying to get a little bit more momentum before going into those white blockers.
It is the hips where points count. England, though, here with a 2-on-1 blocker advantage, as 4 English blockers to the 2 Mexican. Carla Fu.
Which you see in these wonderful replays here, sponsored by MEX live streaming software. Look at that hit there, calling off that jam.
Back on track, Fish takes the lead jammer there for England. Carla Fu stuck behind a brace 3 as offense comes in from Party Boy. Party Boy pushing Shrooms all the way to the front. Oh, and recovers well for a block on Fish and a run back.
Party Boy really partying there, jumping around on his toe stops a little after that incredibly nice hit there, but he gets a blocking with the head penalty, is sent to the penalty box. 4 more points, however, put on the board by Fish for England.
42-10 in favor of England with 9 minutes played. Heading into Jam 6, Charlie Scraplin up against Silencio. Mexico still with 2 blockers on track. Nawal and Naked Alien up against all 4 English blockers. Split between... Oh no, not anymore. They've managed to get in cover in place.
And Silencio realizes that they do not have the pack advantage, so he helps out his blockers before engaging with the pack, but it is Charlie Scraplin who takes the lead here.
He's already in on a scoring pass, but Nawal shuts it down. Oh, G.I. Joel is going to pick up a penalty for blocking a down skater, and he already knew it. He was heading to the bin before he did it.
Before he even got the signal.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice little twirl there by Scraplin. 5 more points for England.
There was an attempted star pass there, but G.I. Joel is the pivot, and he sat down in the bin. So it's a stash, and Silencio now has completed his initial.
2 more points for England. And look at that replay here. Silencio, like I said earlier, helping out his blockers.
But can't get enough on him there to hold it.
Yep.
It would have been more advantageous if the Mexican blockers were behind the English wall and could have helped him out straight away there. But he did what he could, and it was a good attempt. We are in a timeout here for Mexico.
And I just want to tell you a little bit about bruised skate news. Bruised skate straps. Straps don't quite fit right. I don't know what I'm doing. Don't let foot/heel slippage mess with your game. Check out bruised skate straps. They wrap around your boot and play to keep your feet in place, so you can improve agility. Be better with bruised skate straps. BruisedSN.com.
So we're seeing here on the points per jam, those 2 jams, number 2 and 3, where Mexico had the lead jammer but lost it due to a penalty. High-scoring jams for both teams. Whereas when England have had lead jammer, they've been forced to either call it off early or been unable to score as freely as they had in those 2 jams. Mexico currently unable to score in the previous 3. That's probably what this team timeout is about. 10 minutes in, good place for a team timeout. Chat.
Exactly.
Chat and cat Jin about what's going on.
Yeah, just to put the heads together a little bit, say like, okay, this is what's up, this is what's going on, this is what we need to do.
Exactly. England on 49, Mexico on 10 as Sully lines up against Alex Strom. Mexico now dropping back into Sully, and Scooby opening up the outside line. Shut down, so Sully switches to the inside and gets again. Now stuck at the front is Sully with a brace 3. Bouncing from side to side, 1-2 combo, just pops him off on the outside edge. Naked Alien recycling back with Drigger, making him trying to hold Sully, knocks to the inside. At the front of the pack, Alex Strom is down with only one hand out. Offense coming from G.I. Joel. Gonna hear that phrase a lot, I feel. Alex Strom at the front with just Shrooms to beat. Knocked down again, but only one hand out. Knocked down a 3rd time by Alex Strom. One hand out again. No pass, no penalty. Alex Strom is out of the pack. 4-1 in front of Sully. Offense comes in. Lead jammer Sully. Sully calls.
And would you look at how Alex Strom was walking? He just kept being knocked down, one hand outside of the track. Kept getting knocked down, just got on one knee, got back up. It all just went so incredibly fast that...
First time England have been unable to score that jam. And everything that England did there when Alex Strom got out was textbook. They all went full offense, got their jammer out, and Sully called the jam before his bench had even started indicating it.
Exactly. Trash, in the meantime, on track next to Waterman, and we are off again. Really nice offense being done there by Omar Gerd on the outside, and Waterman takes it and picks up another lead. This is the 6th time they've had lead here.
This time Trash out a lot faster here and chasing. Waterman has been recycled. England caught napping defensively there. Trash on a scoring pass, ran into, I think, a firm block from Tomahawk, I believe. I may be wrong on that. Might have been Omar Gerd.
Waterman is not calling this jam marathon. He's just going to keep on going. But I think that Trash has already put some points on board. Yes, he is out. 4 points being awarded, with Waterman still stuck in that pack.
Yeah, Narwhal doing some great truck and trailering off the back of Dino Raw. I mean, 4 points were picked up there, but very, very good display. And good for Mexico's confidence there.
Definitely.
Getting a hold of someone like Waterman and holding him. Very, very good for their confidence.
Yeah, they are incredibly quick on their feet, and you just see them, even though Waterman has passed one of them, they will just keep recycling and catching them again. So Tupero, in the meantime, back on track next to the number 5, a Fish. 2nd jam here.
Dropping back is the England 3-wall, and Scooby Zoom ducks under to go offensive straight away for Fish. Oh, the cut track. Yep, a cut track was just drawn on Fish there. Potential power jam, or a power jam situation for Soy Tupero, especially if we can get lead jammer on the front of the chest with Don and Scooby Zoom. Scooby Zoom trying to do the run back, but stopped there by Drigger and Dr. Manhattan.
I'm not sure if you can hear it on the stream at home, but the Mexican crowd is just pretty much going crazy here. They're very, very enthusiastic audience.
Scooby Zoom, last line of defense, knocking Soitapero off track illegally with the forearms. That is a worth of penalty. It's allowed England to recover. Billy and Don now at the front. Brains screening offense for them as Drigger comes in trying to open up. Brains recovers well. Back to Don. Don and Brains now with Billy. All three back together as Fish has returned to track. Great penalty kill for England.
And look at that tripod. It's just not moving. But we have Drigger there knocking the entire wall to the left, to the right, just trying to get his jammer through. But they're so fast in reforming right in front of Soitapero again.
Yeah, England are rotating with the hit, and they're Billy making Soitapero rotate to the down illegally with the forearms. But whether they're rotating with the hit really well, recapturing Soitapero over and over again, and they've taken his gas tank, and that's the star pass to G.I. Joel.
Great defensive blocker, but let's see what he's going to do with the jammer cover on his hand. I haven't seen him jam yet, I think, today, so I'm very excited to see what he's going to do and how he's going to work this.
Oh,
twirling around on the outside there, and a secret weapon, let's just say. 4 points on the board for Mexico.
Indeed. Like, Brains thought he had enough there, thought he got him off the edge, but G.I. Joel showing the experience on the toes, on the line. 4 points for Mexico. Now, whilst that is 4 points, well, we'll see. Nope, just the 4 for Mexico. England, I think that's actually possibly worked in their favour because G.I. Joel's been very effective blocking, and now he's just tired himself out a little bit more with a big jam.
Yeah, that's very true. Like, of course, they need a new jammer, they need a good jammer to score the points, but they also need the blockers to hold back a Fish there on track.
There was a wonderful phrase at the World Cup back in Manchester I heard. It's like, blockers earn points, jammers reap them. Which I thought was a really nice way of putting things.
Yeah, I know there's also a French saying that the blockers put down the points and that the jammers, they pick them up, exactly. And let's see how many points Chino and Charlie Scraplin are going to pick up in this jam. Chino here in the back, getting a lot of very nice offense from Nawal there.
Nawal done wonderfully well already these past 2 days and putting in a great display here for his nation as Chino and Charlie Scraplin both are recycled backwards. Naked Alien at the back with Pablex. Naked Alien and Pablex are such a great duo for their nation. Pablex believes he's drawn the cup, but he's not yet. Scraplin is recycling now behind Party Boy.
And we're almost 1 minute into this jam, and they're only just in the first corner. We see the English wall going into the second corner, and as I'm saying that, Chino gets out, picks up lead, a well-deserved and much-needed lead here for Mexico. He's incredibly excited about it.
Yeah, Chino's all fired up about that lead jammer. But Scraplin with an incognito star stash dances out of the pack, and Chino's forced to call, picking up 2 points.
Very nice. Mexico's not about to give any points away here, I think.
No. Interestingly, not something you can see here, the bench coach Aisbit smiling at a -2 jam. There's a game plan afoot. There is a game plan afoot, and after this game, I'm going to find out what that was, but there's definitely a game plan here.
Maybe we'll find it out here, but maybe we can like spot a pattern for some reason.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think that is, yes, Sully back on track, and next to Carla Fu.
Carla Fu at the front with 3 to beat. Shrooms, Aisbit, and Don. Carla Fu, though, beats them all. Lead jammer, Mexico. Yep.
Oh, we have a ref down. This is a very Sully's way of jamming. It's just like he just shuts off his brain and just goes for it. Just
instinctive.
Exactly. No fear.
Nope. There are jammers like that who play better without thinking.
Yeah.
And you speed up a pack, open up gaps, and Sully will see his body will see them before anyone else.
He just
will
does,
react.
yeah. And just like here on the inside, here in the third corner, or in the fourth corner, the apex, just jumping that apex, it's like, okay, I see a tiny little hole there, I'm just going to go for it.
More importantly in that jam, though, Carla Fu picked up 5 points.
Exactly. He just passed him.
Yeah, he got now currently 20% of Mexico's points in that one jam. That's, yep, twice now in a row, England been unable to score. Aisbit's still smiling. Maybe he's just a happy fellow. But I'm seeing things, but talking to Reaper, who's yet to be unleashed in this.
Exactly, I haven't seen him yet. I didn't see him play yesterday either, so I'm really excited to see what he's going to do.
He played, I believe, one of the earlier games today and one game yesterday.
Yeah.
He is maybe being saved, as he has had injury trouble in the past. Yeah. Maybe they stylistically don't feel he's the right match for this one. Maybe they do. We'll see here, but I tell you, there's a game plan here.
Yeah. And we see Silencio up against Waterman here, and Silencio, I'm not sure, they're being tangled here.
Yeah, it looks like
a little bit of footsie here on the track.
The strap was caught on a wheel there as Waterman picks up the lead jam at the front.
Silencio, what works for him is getting really low and either getting around. If he can't get around, he usually goes right through, but there is Spectral for England, and there is just no way that you're getting through Spectral. Yeah,
especially when he's there braced by Tomahawk. Tomahawk has those long legs, gets low, leaves himself out. There's a 4-0 penalty. It's issued to Waterman, and Silencio now has a power jam.
Oh, Silencio, as I was saying that, you cannot knock down Spectral. Silencio does it. He knocks down Spectral. That's what happens then. Full 5 points for Silencio from Mexico.
I've played against Spectral, and I am a strong guy, not to be, tooting my own horn. He's incredibly hard to get knocked down.
Oh, yes, taking the apex there.
And Shroom's picking up a multiplayer penalty as Omar Gerd is re-entering the track. They're going to try and go Omar Gerd, not something I would recommend. They've given up on that plan already, as Waterman does re-enter. Waterman tries to round Naked Alien, but knocked down. He's going to recycle himself back.
Yeah, I thought he was going to stay in bounds, but he just fell forward, and then, yeah.
I think he was leaning onto one of the Mexico blockers, but they moved and it sent him spinning. Omar Gerd tried to open up the gap that Waterman was unable to take advantage.
Silencio, they're rolling over in the front, almost getting out, but let's see, 4 points each.
Big. But that's a 10-point jam, 14-point jam from Mexico. Here we go here. There is the knockdown on Silencio. And you see there, it's Tomahawk. Is it Tomahawk's knee strap caught around? Oh, it's his shorts.
It's his shorts.
Need some extra stitching, I feel, in those shorts as we have a timeout for England. This timeout's going to be brought to you by Roller Derby Elite. Roller Derby Elite, the proud sponsor of Worldwide Roller Derby, the platinum sponsor of Team USA, who you can see playing Wales over on the Roller Derby City track. But I don't know why you'd want to with a game like this, as we see here, sprinting through the infield, roaring with Mexican jammer.
Really nice, and again, that sponsor was brought to you by VMix Software, vmix.com.
They're bringing us our beautiful, wonderful replays, showing you all these joyous, joyous events here over at the M14 track. Only 27 points in it.
And a little bit less than 10 minutes left, and like we said earlier, we are back in the full games. That means full timeouts, 2 periods of 30 minutes, and official reviews are back.
Yeah, both teams giving up 2 power jams. England have been unable to score in 3 jams total. Mexico unable to score in 5, but have scored in all of the previous 5 jams. A little bit of a momentum shift maybe, because Mexico have outscored England over the previous 5 jams.
And if I'm right, only 2 jammer penalties each so far? So that means only 2 power jams so far. Fish back on track here with Alex Storm.
And Kirkham on track now to give Fish some offense. Scooby Zoom popped to the way almost across the apex. As Alex Storm at the front on the hips of Shrooms. Pops the inside. Shrooms just stays upright but not in bounds. Out of play. Shrooms goes to the penalty box.
But look at how happy Fish is to get out of that penalty box as well. Smiling, grinning broadly. Offense being requested here by Alex Storm.
Yeah, Alex Storm screaming, "Vamonos."
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. He wants a faster pack. Does he call in time? I think there's 1 point for England. Yes, 1 point for England, 2 for Mexico. Still continuing to outscore England or Mexico over these previous 6 jams.
Exactly, they're closing the gap. One more replay. Look at that push, and he actually gets hit out there on the inside.
Yep.
Whereas
the out of play was
Shrooms,
called.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Shrooms did stay in bounds, and if they had been in play, that would have been an amazing block. But, you know, there's such a thing as the engagement zone, and at some point you just got to stop.
Yeah, you may have heard that over the ambient crowd. Here comes 666 Reaper up against number 88 Chino. Reaper always a standout jammer. And let's see how he can do here against this Mexico wall on a power jam. And this is a man you do not want to give a power jam to. Blocking with the head, I think, assessed there to Chino, and Reaper's already around on a scoring pass. Reaper fails.
Signaling to him that he's going to do some offense, that he's going to come. I don't know what he was signaling.
He was trying to open up the inside line for Reaper to fly. Does not land it cleanly, but takes the outside line with a 360 and 5 points for England.
Just keep going, and his coach is signaling him.
Yep. And that is being mirrored by England jammer Rufio over on the outside edge of corner 2.
And in the meantime, we have Chino back on track here in the back. Reaper, however, pushing through the inside, very close.
Nawal tries to slow down Reaper, as does Naked Alien. Chino completes their initial pass, but Reaper's already picked up another 5 points. Big jam for England there, 10 points on the board. Reaper on his toes around, bounces off Nawal. Naked Alien goes in, can't get the hip check, but Chino's taking the inside line.
Sully back on track next to Carl LeFou here. Current score is 77 versus 41 with English in the lead.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of Mexico skaters after jams head to see the medics. This is an intense game, very, very physical, as Sully is bounced to the outside, knocked inside by Trash. Still on the line, Trash and Sully. Scooby Zoom going to try and get in position to open up the Mexicans.
A lot of things going on there, but lead going to Mexico, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Carl LeFou finds a gap, takes it. And Don heading to the penalty box there. No pass, no penalty for Sully, completing his initial. Carl calls the jam. A 4-hour penalty, I believe, assessed to Don. 45 to 77, 32 points. Here we go. Carl LeFou taking the outside, dips under all his colleagues and just gets clipped by Brains, but not enough to slow him down.
And this is definitely something that I see the Mexican jammers like that beam dip. I think one of our announcers called it earlier.
Yep,
they just get super low. They take the outside. They really don't need a lot, and just as what we've seen the Argentinian jammers do.
The beam dip is more when you turn your back to the blocker and dip your shoulder under their hips, because if they do contact you, it's a back block as well. Without Carl LeFou, was really just ducking under the hips there. He has to be careful that if the knee does go down, he's basically putting himself into you can't be blocked into the league of move. Lee Jammer going again to Mexico. Silencio, second in a row for Mexico.
Waterman still stuck in the back. Oh, we have had a star pass.
And that is to Alien L, 1-0-0. Alien L, you may have seen, used to jam for England in Calgary, you may have seen him there. He has shifted both in his home league and for England to a blocker, but what a weapon to have in the back pocket there.
Yeah.
So it's like, England unable to score again for a further 2 jams in a row. Fish with the star against Alex Strum, and 18 points in it.
And the jam was ended just in time for the entire penalty box to end.
28 points in it.
For the entire penalty box to end too, sorry. We already have Fish knocked down here in the back, running into his pivot on the outside. Now both of them have to re-enter all the way behind Dr. Manhattan, whereas Alex Storm is trying to push into that wall of blockers, takes the outside, does not need a lot of space, picks up another lead for Mexico.
Third in a row for Mexico. Fish smiling. I think that Fish are always amused when he doesn't get lead, because it just seems to be how I've always seen him skate. Alex Strom liking that fastback beam. There's a dip under Illbilly. Illbilly does not allow it.
No, he's shutting the jam down.
1 point picked up by Alex Strom now.
We were talking about that yesterday. I mean, it's really all about the fun. Like, we don't really care who wins as long as everyone on track is having fun. And I think Fish picked up on that message. And
Fish is always having fun.
Yeah. Scraplin on track next to Carla Fu, once again jamming for Team Mexico.
Scraplin now out the front as Carla Fu stuck into a bracelet. Scraplin through with ease. Oh my God, making it easy for him. Yeah. Forced lead jammer and 4 jams for England. Scraplin picking up a quick 5. Carla Fu still stuck at the back. Narwhal picks up a direction of gameplay penalty as Trash re-enters. Scraplin knocked down to the infield by Drigger, but Drigger not doing so legally. So he's going to go and have a sit down. Charlie's got the 2 to beat, beats them. And calls it.
That's very nice for England here. 10 points scored for England in this last jam. Current score 87 for England, 50 points for Mexico.
And an official review for Mexico.
And of course, since we're back at the full games, we now do have a clock stop for things like timeouts and for official reviews.
So, interestingly here, we have a 27-point game. Current leads relatively close. I believe we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for England, 9 for Mexico. However, 2 of Mexico's leads did result in power jams to England as they picked up penalties. Only the 1 for England. Points per jam, as you can see here.
I think 14 is the most so far, so we don't have any power jams that were really incredibly disastrous to the scores.
Mexico are requesting a cut track be assessed on the England jammer.
So I believe we're having an official review here for a cut track being assessed against the England jammer in the previous jam. We are going to await the result of that. So looking here, points per jam, you know, all over the place. Couple of points picked up here and there. Very strong jams for England as the game's gone on. Jams later on, we got big 13, 14 points jams. 14-point jam picked up from Mexico earlier on as well. But very, very even. Penalty board. Ooh, nothing showing here. I'm fairly sure we've had more penalties. Nothing showing there. We might be missing the actual details from the penalty board.
Of the penalties.
Yeah, but there are penalties that have definitely been assessed on most of those players. There's been a fast and a frantic one.
Definitely, and if you feel like...
After review of the call on the field, the no call will stand. There was no out-of-bounds contact by the England jammer skate. Mexico will lose their official review for the remainder of the period.
Very happy about this. Silencio and Sully both on the track. And if you feel like, oh my goodness, why am I not here? But you want to have a little piece of this World Cup official merchandise for the MRDWC 2018 can be purchased online at mrdwc.com/merch.
Yeah, one of those things with Mexico, I really that call is like worth asking the question. I mean, 2 minutes left on the clock, you lose the official review at halftime anyway, might as well. Lead jammer is assessed to Sully and England.
Oh, Silencio taking the outside there, just barely staying inside.
Yeah, all on his toes there, round corner 1.
But it is enough for him to get out. Sully being knocked out there right at the end by the number 18, Michael, and that forces him to call off the jam. However, he did manage to score 4 points in his scoring pass.
Yeah, just saw the jam referee going to confer with the OPR to make sure he didn't get his toes inbounds and upright before going off track. So I believe potentially we're looking at the winners of this playing against Australia in the next round, I believe. Again, Twitter will correct me when I'm wrong, which is within seconds, I believe. But Waterman with the star here for England, run back by Dino Raw. It is Soitupero trying to find a gap to get through. Kirkham and Banks, both of Links Rolling Thunder, doing some lovely work there, holding Soitupero off. Now being braced off by Sudden Discomfort's Spectral Aberration.
I'm really amazed by the blocking here going on, even the one-on-one blocking, because of course blocking in a team, especially when you have agile blockers like Mexico does, is really important. But we just saw Banks just being able to hold back the blocker entirely by himself for a bit. This is another lead for England.
And one thing to say is Banks is a retired jammer, shall we say? Jammed quite a lot as a cut track was pulled by Kirkham on Silencio. So this will now be a power jam to Waterman. Soitapero. And Waterman going to call that one. Picks up the 5, going to start England on a power start with Soitapero iced in the bin. And they're going to send out Fish. 4 and 4 for the blockers.
Yeah, and I was just talking about with a jammer I know last night that it's as a jammer you kind of have the footwork down, and then if you start playing as a blocker, you know how the jammers think, you know, often kind of can sort of like guess what they're going to do, and it
off the top of my head, shall we say, looking at England and the roster, the team that's currently out, I know Shrooms used to jam, I know Ilbilly used to jam, and Scooby used to jam. So there's 3 jammers there blocking. Looking at the rest of the England roster, Kirkham used to jam, Omar Gerd used to jam, Alien Al used to jam, Tomahawk used to jam. So there we go, that is a healthy chunk of England's blockers are ex-jammers.
Exactly, and those are usually the most agile ones. They have the quickest footwork, and
just that knowledge of what jammers will look for and want to go for.
And that's really what you want, especially against these incredibly agile Mexican blockers here, who like to take those dips, who like to tiptoe the outsides and the insides, and who just like to get really low and just slip underneath you as a blocker.
They're very good at that on the outside edges, getting nice and low, gliding under the block and getting past. And I think a lot of the time England aren't expecting the Mexican jammers to get that low with that speed, because maintaining that speed at that height is trickier than it looks.
Exactly, and yeah, we just have the official review. We're almost going into halftime here. We currently, of course, we're going to start the next. Oh yeah, official timeout. I'm sorry. Here we have an. Oh yeah, it is an official review. Yeah, because I just saw people signaling. We have this official review here.
So we're going to wait to hear the call now.
England are using their official review to question the scoreboard clock. There were 31 seconds remaining at the end of that previous jam. We will be resetting the scoreboard now, so there are 1 second remaining of the period, and there will be one more jam commencing as soon as this timeout ends. Thank you.
So in case you missed that there, we will be ensuring there will be normal jam as the clock will be reset to the correct time. And that will be England retaining their official review. I can't see they'll get much use out of it, but I won't be surprised if they do. So 1 second on the clock as Fish starts with a little bit of momentum. Now remember, you can't be accelerating at the whistle, you can be in motion.
Exactly.
Fish. Sorry.
We saw him pick up a little bit of speed here, and you know that's what he likes. He likes to be able to juke at speed. He likes to be able to just go into that wall at speed. And here he is again, juking here into the 4th corner. Takes the outside there. Oh my goodness, is being pushed out by Drigger there at the end, which gives the other Mexican blockers just barely enough time to reform before he gets out anyway. Picks up lead right on time for Soitapero to get back on the track.
Yeah. Interestingly, I think the more nimble, agile, bouncy, jukey, that's the word, jukey jammers for England, struggling more with these Mexican blockers than the more powerful pushing style of Waterman, for example. So very interesting how that's worked out. Normally, at this level, it's very large blocking they're having to deal with, especially if with an Australia who are a very big team. Yeah. So maybe an interesting one. Should England potentially win this game with a 49-point lead?
That was the final jam of this first period. Like we said earlier, we have full games right now, a full 15-minute intermission before we go on to the next period.
Yep, we are just going to total up and check our stats here. It is looking like over 22 jams, 13 leads for England, 8 for Mexico. Only 1 star pass, which was to Alien Al for England, 2 for Mexico, both to G.I. Joel. Penalties, jamming penalties, 2 for England, 4 for Mexico, and points correct, 99 to England, 50 to Mexico. So a 2-to-1 scoring ratio, and again, only a few big jams, but a fair few pointless jams for both teams. Mexico unable to score for a short run, England being held intermittently, unable to score. Will be interesting on how this goes in the second half and how fatigue, cardio plays into it, as well as the accrual of penalties and injuries as we go on. We'll be back with you in just shy of 12 minutes for the second half here of our quarterfinal at the M14 track. We'll see you soon.
Perfect. See you. And I think we're back. Nope.
Hello and welcome back to the M14 track. I am Captain Manners, alongside me, Exterminator.
Exterminate, thank you.
It's just Exterminate.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. And Dork Mistressa? Or just Dork Mistress? Okay.
Just dork.
Just Dork. Oh, that's just mean.
I love you, producer wizard.
England currently holding a 49-point lead over Mexico, 99 playing 50. We don't have too many penalties to worry about for either team. A light spreading, shall we say, a dusting of penalties freely over both teams. Interesting game in the first half. Very fast and frantic at times. Mexico making some very good adjustments after timeouts and changing their jammer rotation for a more impactful and effective rotation. England sticking with their game plan from the start, and after not much has really changed for them. See how they go into the second half. I did have a conversation with a couple of the English skaters I know about a couple of things here and there, and we are hearing that there was something they were aware they were doing wrong playing into Mexico's hands. They're going to hope to tighten that up, and that was getting involved very much in a hitting game with Mexico. So they're going to look to tighten that up in the second half. And the point we made in the first half, that I'm sorry you may have missed in the first half, Aisbert smiling when England were on a negative point differential. Potentially, we were reminded that Aisbert is Australian.
Yeah,
so therefore, his innate desire to see England lose might have been seeping through his professional conduct, trying to make England win.
Exactly. There was no secret master plan from the English.
Nope.
He's just Aussie.
He's just Australian. It's like, he's helping them win professionally, but his natural joy at them losing points.
Exactly. And we saw it rubbing off on Fish already, so it's definitely working.
Fish is just a happy skater as Waterman takes the start for England up against Carla Fu. I believe a repeat of our first jam from the first half. Yes, it is. Stats checks, people.
And for those of you just listening to the audio while doing other things, current score 99 versus 50. England in the lead, and we have Carla Fu here in the back. Waterman, I just commented on it earlier, Surly has a very similar skating style, just bouncing through that pack there, pushing. He's trying to push that wall down there in the front.
I mean, he's given up a lot of weight here to the four blockers in front of him. But there's no quit in Carla Fu. He's just pushed and pushed and pushed. And Omar Gerd has seen the fall to the outside and is going to draw him back.
And I was just going to say, it's really interesting to see that we have like a 4-on-4 blocker wall. But as I was saying that, the English pivot just sprinted forward, Omar Gerd, and helped out his jammer, lead going to Waterman.
Yeah, and in that motion there, a naked alien picked up a multiplayer penalty, a second penalty assessed to Pablex, and a cut track assessed to Carla Fu. That is three Mexican skaters in seconds of each other, all hitting the cheese balls bearing penalty box. And
this might actually be part of the English strategy. They're calling off the jam just as the jammer is sitting down for Mexico. Two blockers in the box for Mexico. They're just going to start this new jam. And like you said in the first half, Reaper is not a jammer that you want to give a power jam to.
And not when there's only two blockers on track, because Reaper's second jam here. Reaper is a very slender fellow.
Yep.
I mean, he can fit through small gaps with four blockers on track. Two of you are not going to cover enough track to stop Reaper.
That's one.
That's going to be two in a second. That's one recover.
Very quick performing there by Mexico, but it is not enough. At one point, they're going to have to let him go. Lead to Mexico. Lead to Mexico. Lead to Reaper.
Lead to Reaper and lead to England. If you see on the replay, if we get a replay shortly, Reaper stays very close as he rotates around skaters. Doesn't give it any gains. And here we go. Naked Alien back on track with the pivot stripe. Pablex released as well. Reaper already on a second spray route. Dips, taking the Mexican trick, dipping under. I believe that is Michael, but not able to take advantage. Here we go with Carl Fu back on track. He's got an initial pass to complete. Frantically forces his way through the pack, but recovered by Illbilly at corner 4. Illbilly and Shrooms at corner 4. Illbilly does enough to knock him off track. Carl Fu quickly recycles behind before he can be run back further.
Very clean little knock there to the inside by Illbilly. Just patiently wait for him to the side. Just reforms with the rest of his blockers. And Reaper, there we go. Needs an inch on the outside. Ooh, Michael almost staying in there.
Yeah, Michael doing excellent work all the first half and this one, covering those lines.
And that's what you want to do with jammers like Reaper. You do not want to give him an inch on either the inside or the outside line.
So here we see Reaper coming around. And he's going to stay so close. Dix Under can't just stay in bounds. He's learning, always learning.
Exactly, yeah. And he's probably going to adjust in the next jam. He's going to play his third jam. Charlie Scraplin right now on track next to Alex Storm.
Yep. Charlie Scraplin going to look to take the inside line.
And again, no offense from the start. We have a full, like a 3-wall with an extra blocker, 3-wall with an extra blocker.
Yeah, both teams of blockers respecting the jammer ability, going heavy on the defense early. And making sure they can get a hold. Scraplin leaps over Dino Roar on the apex of corner 2, picking up 5 points as he sprints out of the pack.
I think his legs were like up at least 1.5 meters there. That was ridiculous, that apex jump.
Like Reaper is known for his apex jumps, but Charlie Scraplin is definitely looking to take that mantle away from him. Forearm penalty for Banks, or Tomahawk as some of you may know him.
And Scraplin looking towards his bench like, should I call it? Should I just keep running this? No, he calls it. Listening to his coach.
So you see Scraplin taking that outside line. Dino Roar just can't cover it well enough to stop Scraplin. Lead jammer has picked up for Charlie Scraplin. Here we're going to see this apex jump. Watch for it coming around. This is quite far around the corner, over the leg.
Exactly. Oh, barely inside there, but he landed it, scoring. Silencio in the meantime here on the right. We have Sully again on the inside.
Silencio darting to the inside, can't take advantage. Sully takes lead jammer around corner 2. 4 in a row for England lead jammer.
Silencio knocking down Shrooms there onto his back. Tries to get back to the pack as quickly as he can. Sully, barely staying inside.
Oh, lovely work by Scooby. Beautiful hip check on the corner and knocks Silencio off. But credit where credit's due. Drigger forcing Scooby forward, not allowing the run back.
Oh, look at that control there by Silencio on the front, almost being hit out there by Scooby, but manages to stay inside just by pure core strength and puts 4 points on the board for Mexico.
England going for an honours even 4 apiece, but clearing the penalty box because they were down to 2 blockers. Sully here tries to take the outside, off balance, and the finishing blow there by G.I. Joel. First point of the second half from Mexico. Carl Fu versus Vorterman in jam at number 5. Both teams seem to have dropped into a 4-jam rotation here.
Yep. Oh, Waterman, very strong shoulder hits there onto the blockers as he tries to get out, but it is Carl Fu picking up lead for Mexico.
And he's got a healthy half-a-track lead over Waterman. And on a scoring pass, and Omar Gerd giving up his point by dropping back to call back Party Boy. But Carl Fu is all the way out the front and scoring 5. Waterman recycle behind Nawal.
Illbilly being sent to the Cheeseful Bearings penalty box there. And we have Waterman trying to get through the inside there, but they are so well, like they're not even really that well and close together, but they are so incredibly quick in reforming these Mexican blockers. In the meantime, however, Carl Fu still on track here in the back, trying to get past Spectral, and his buddies are on track.
Yeah, 2 Mexican blockers are in the box. It should be easier for Waterman to break through here, but it's...
And it is.
No, it is. I thought he'd gone out of bounds there. It's a bad angle for us to make those calls. I'm not going to be questioning any cut tracks over on corners 1 and 2.
No, he seemed to be tiptoeing just on the inside of the rope there before that jam was immediately, he just barely made it out. He barely landed it back on his toe stops as that jam was ended. Fish once again smiling here behind the jammer line.
Yeah,
And look at that replay there by that amazing, I don't know, athletic ability there. I didn't even know my body can do that. I'm really impressed by the ability here by Carlefeu. Alex Storm on track next to Fish, like I mentioned earlier. I'm only spotting one blocker on track here for the Mexicans.
No, two. There's two. You just can't see them. They're hiding
exactly,
behind.
there's one hit in there.
Yeah. Illbilly only had seconds left, so he came in and put offense out straight away. Fish, who has the lead jammer. Alex Strom still in the pack as Fish runs into Drigger at the front, picking up 5 points.
And Party Boy in the meantime back on track as well. Hearing a lot of whistles here.
Illbilly on his 5th penalty as Alexstrom tries to leave the track. Doesn't leave the shortest route. I think there was a confusion. He does look like he's taking a severe knock to the abdomen. Illbilly on 5 with a healthy chunk of game time left. Might see him rested a bit.
And again, a very quick pivoting and twirling a tripod there in the front. Fish trying to push Bass, getting some offense there from Don, Brains, and Scooby.
Yeah.
As he advance. Again, look at their replay. Look at him go. Nope, that is out of play. Nope, out of play. 5 points to England. Current score, 143 for England, 64 points to Mexico after that 13-point scoring jam for England.
All the way at the pivot line of all
blockers. Oh, and they're staying there. Like, we've seen them go back very quickly, but nope. Scraplin there stays in the front, just knocks into those blockers again with those very strong shoulder hits. Jumps the inside, picks up lead going to England.
Alex Strom seems to be recovered from whatever it made him look so uncomfortable at the end of the previous jam and slips round incognito, star in hand, completing his initial pass. Alien Al with authority knocking Dr. Manhattan down. Goes for G.I. Joel as well, but can't get a hold of him. Yeah, that was an explosive block right at corners 3 and 4.
In fact, we're seeing a lot of very hard hits here.
Didn't seem like much for a run up there. Come up with 4 points picked up.
And a team timeout being requested by Team Mexico.
So as we hit jam number 8 coming up, it is 6 lead jams for England, 1 for Mexico. 1 jam penalty, which was assessed to Alex Strom at the end of that jam. And Mexico only been able to score in 2 jams so far. Jams 4 and 5, picking up 4 and a 10. We're going to have to see how this team timeout comes out for Mexico. Obviously, in the first half, they had a team timeout, came out guns blazing afterwards. Let's see how they do here.
Exactly. Maybe they just need to reset a little bit, find their calm, like you mentioned earlier for England. How they were going to get back together, not turn this into a hitting match. And, you know, they might just be saying the exact same thing here. Roller Derby League continues to match luxury with technology. Whether you play in a competitive league or skate in the street with your friends, it's all about the experience. So get out there and skate. RollerDerbyElite.com.
The cheese balls bearing penalty box empty, a rarity so far this half. Both teams picking up quite a few penalties. Illbilly, I believe, has picked up most of them.
Yep.
I don't see him on track here for England.
No, they might be playing it safe.
Yeah, I would save him. He's quite a good player. Don't want to get him fouling out if he's in a bit of a slump penalty-wise. Sully with the start for England against Silencio.
Very similar jammers, both just...
Bounce,
very
bounce,
nice.
Bounce,
exactly,
bounce.
Yeah. And Silencio being knocked out there on the outside, but as the blockers are also stepping out, it is actually Silencio who picks up lead here for Mexico. Second lead jam of the half here for Mexico. Sully tumbles on the inside.
Yeah, he was looking up with the referee expecting a back block penalty to be assessed, but he didn't consider the fact that he engaged with his back.
Oh, knocked out by Party Boy there. He thought he was finally out of that back, but gets knocked out just near the end of the engagement zone. Ooh, very big hit there.
Yeah, that's a Scooby Zoom patented 360 spinning shoulder attack. He does this every game. You may have seen Nick Jaeger do something similar. With the spinning rotation, he hits you with the shoulder, using the momentum to turn around, ready for the run back. It's a very clever little move.
Exactly. 5 points on the board by Silencio. 69 for Mexico, current score, and a 147 for England.
Third jam of the game for Reaper. He is up against number 88, Chino.
And we've seen Reaper in 2 power jams already as well.
Not one here, though. He's not going to start him off on a power jam.
Yeah.
he can earn his points the traditional way.
Exactly, yeah, he's going to fight for it now. Being recycled all the way back, straddling their trash, recycling him, but then gets stuck behind that wall of white blockers, so he just decides to do the offense. Gets hit out again, enters behind everyone.
Yeah, Michael C covering that line really well. Just forcing Reaper out, and this time Reaper takes the inside line, a combination of Trash and Drigger, knocking him off to the infield. Chino still trying to find a way past Banks on the outside edge of corner 1. Cut track issued, and in the confusion, the penalty being assessed, Reaper's going to burst out for a no pass, no penalty.
Which means the power can still go to Chino here. He can still get out as lead, but sometimes you don't know, like, do you really want to go for that lead, or maybe it's just better to get that star pass out and to start scoring those points. But that's all up to the coach, up to the players to decide what they want to go for. Reaper, I'm not sure what's going on. He's just taking it easy, or he's waiting for his offense. We have had a star pass now. Start going on to G.I. Joel, who...
Third star pass I believe he's received.
Yep. And they are incredibly fast and incredibly good with the star passes, I would have to say, Mexico. They've done a couple already when they needed it. And Reaper's still stuck in that pack, but he's not calling off the jam.
He's also not getting much offense here.
Nope.
I think we're going to see it here. Omar going to feed G.I. Joel in, and straight away switching to offense to Reaper. Open it up perfect. Textbook by England there.
Yep, 5 points to Reaper. G.I. Joe still stuck in the pack there, being recycled back. And of course they know this is not a jammer, this is a pivot. Is Reaper just going to trust his blocker, his little tumble there in the corner?
Big hit on Reaper, who goes down at corner 2. He's up and trying to find a way still at the front. Michael C on that line. He's done excellent work covering the outside line, Michael C. And only 8 points picked up for England there and 2 for Mexico.
Very nice. We have 16, a little bit under 17 minutes left on the clock. 155 for England in the lead. 71 points for Mexico. Smiley fish behind the jammer line here for England, next to Carl Fou, who's wearing his jammer cover in a very interesting way.
How the cool kids wear it,
Yeah, exactly. This is how the cool kids wear it. As long as it's visible, you know, that's what counts. Fish, I call him Smiley Fish because he really is. He just came through the corner here, broad grin on his face. Look at him go into that wall, full shoulder hits.
Well, this is his first game of the tournament. You gotta remember this. He's had to sit and watch all his friends play roller derby for a day and a half, and now he gets to play too. Little kick of the skate there as a cut track penalty is assessed. It's a power jam now to Fish. He's even happier. Carl Fou, though, only just heard the call.
Very heavily disagreeing with the referee there.
Yeah, well, so you be careful. You don't want to be insubordinate to the referees.
No, and the referees are really on point. We've seen a lot of blocker cuttings as well, or quite a few blocker cuttings. Not this game specifically, but over the tournament so far. So the referees are definitely on point. And it's something that blockers often don't think about. They're like, okay, they're either not really paying attention to me, or it doesn't really matter where I go in sometimes. And it definitely shows.
My home league and I discussed it as a tactic to draw cuts on blockers to throw them off. It's a very interesting one to use, not one they actually expect very often. But on track, Waterman has a start for England, and he is unopposed, apart from by Mexican blockers.
Yeah.
And lead jammer does go to Waterman.
Again, we see this power jam moving backwards, as we've seen a couple of times. But Waterman is not letting that stop him. Oh, he was almost out of that pack again. He did manage to pick up most of the points, I think. Twirls around the Mexican blockers there on the outside.
Yeah, he's still got to complete this initial pass, which he does around the outside, corners 1.
And as he just got out of that back. Garlifu is back on track and back off track. Another cut penalty. And I think I saw that happen. Again, he does not agree with it, but that was definitely a cut penalty. His coach is telling him, please just go sit down. Very ecstatic England and English fans here.
Do not argue with the call. Just go and do the time on the seat. You can't affect change.
Nope.
So don't complain.
This is what cheers England on, of course. 174 points right now, 10 more points picked up, and once again a power start, this time for Sully.
Yeah, you'll see he's lined up right behind Scooby. There is something afoot. If you watch the men's European qualifiers at MRDWC Champs, this is something that Scooby did very often, and it has worked perfectly. So pulls the ball one way as the jammer goes the other.
Sometimes all you need is a mental game.
Yep.
They were so focused on the blocker behind them that they didn't even notice him taking the outside.
Distraction techniques are so underutilized. Now, England got to be aware they just called Carter Lafleur on 2 cuts in a row and iced him, and he's not been happy about either one of them. England, if they're going to be smart here, are going to try and call a third on him.
England are prepared though. Oh my god, one of those amazingly big hits there by Scooby onto the Mexican jammer Carter Lafleur.
And now they're going to try and antagonize him, I think, here at the back. As Sully does call the jump. Oosh. Carter Lafleur is heading back to the Mexico box and does not look happy. A little grimace and a shake of the head to his bench manager, and he's going to take a seat. Recover, prepare.
2 blockers down for Mexico. Silencio back on the track next to Charlie Scrapland.
Yeah, Michael C. and G.I. Joel both been very impressive for Mexico on the blocking rotation. 4-wall for England as, oh my god, was swinging around taking G.I. Joe out of the equation.
Yeah, G.I. Joe immediately getting out. That was I don't know where he just flew Charlie Scrapping, but he flew to the inside lead. In the meantime, has been whistled to Silencio, who nearly knocks down the people there on the outside. Yeah. No lead for Scrapping, who does get out first as the jam ends.
But again, it was Michael C. covering the lines.
Yep.
They're his. Just accept the fact, England, that Michael C. owns the lines.
You're not going to get through there as a jammer. You can try, but you will fly.
He has done excellent work covering them fantastically. Inside and outside, he doesn't care. They're his.
Yeah.
England yet to receive any jammer penalties here in the second. Mexico with 3.
And I do have to say that that does reflect in the scores.
Yeah, England have ramped up. They were only 49 points ahead. Now with a 108-point advantage. Fish is joyfully sprinting around the track here. If he smiled any bigger, there would be a drag factor at play with his speed.
Nope, Trash in the meantime also out of this penalty box though. Omar Gerd waving out of the penalty box, does not get the chance to get back on track, however, as Fish calls off that jam.
He desperately wanted to pick up a little point there, or maybe get Omar free, but couldn't get either.
They really just, I think he was probably waving to his bench to say like, hey guys, I'm out, you can call off the jam now.
They see here, you can see that smile just at the end of the replay. He is so happy.
It's very infectious. 11 minutes left, but the English fans are cheering like it's 11 seconds. Chino here in the back.
Waterman in the front, lead jammer. Alien Al there, a little bit of offense, just open up the Mexican wall for Waterman. And already going aggressively offensive, disrupting Mexico, not letting them settle, trying to make it easier for Waterman, who spins on 1 foot for 5 points.
And a lot of hip checking actually by the Mexican blockers, which is not something that you see men often use. It's a lot of shoulders usually, but they do a lot of twirly things, like twirling their hips into the jammers and knocking them out that way.
You will see it from some skaters who are just adept at hip checks.
Yeah.
For England, for example, Omar Gerd, Don Giovanni, very, very good hip checks. Formerly of England, retired years ago, Darth Sebius was known for his hip checks, for being one of the few men in men's rugby who just hip checked aggressively.
Exactly. Now we have 6 gems with no score for Mexico. Silencio, however, does seem to be pretty determined to change that. Let's see how he does. He has 1 blocker in the box, Sully next to him. And again, I was just going to say, again, that start at the pivot line as everyone is backing up there to the German line. Silencio trying to take the outside there. But there is Don, and once again, it is Sully who just goes for that little gap on the inside.
Yeah, Naked Alien drawn into the middle and opening up a gap for Sully.
Scooby recycling Silencio there to the back, meaning he has to go back all the way behind that pack there. Sully, in the meantime, back on track.
Sully stuck in a slow 3 or 4 wall, sorry, at corner 2, hitting into the straightaway. Offense trying to come in from Scooby, but can't do enough as Sully is knocked to the infield. Cut track, though, causes Mexico to stop blocking, and Sully takes full advantage.
Yep, onto Dynaro, who actually just got back out of the penalty box, did some quick offense, made a cut, got sent right back into that cheese ball bearing penalty box. No pass for Mexico. And 5 points for England.
Yeah,
no, 9 points for England.
9 points for England.
I thought that would be a little lower amount of points.
130-point lead for England. And the penalties and the fatigue look to be starting to take their toll on Mexico. And England, with the experience of just drawing them into it and taking full advantage. 8 minutes and change on the clock. Both teams still with their official reviews as well.
And once again, we see the English jammers as he's getting lead. Oh no, that is a forearm penalty being called on Charlie Scrappling. I was just going to comment on how they used him as a blocker just for a second to guide the other jammer, Carl Fu, onto his blockers. But he managed to pick up a forearm penalty there, which means it's an power jam for Carl Fu.
Carl Fu's got to take advantage of this. He needs some offense from his teammates. He gets it there as Carl Fu takes lead jam around corner 2.
And with Omar Gerd in the penalty box, I'm sure Carl Fu is very happy with that. Very hard hitter, very agile hitter.
And this is the first jam penalty England have given up of the second half. It's only taken till jam 17. So very good discipline for England. Scraplin, though, is out, spinning, bouncing, trying to find a way through.
Look at him go. Ooh, jumping the inside there, just barely staying inside 1 foot or 1 hand outside the track lines.
One thing people don't expect about Scraplin, he does not need much momentum or run up to get that height on the jump. But Carl Fu, he can also fly. And here he is picking up that lead jammer there at corner 2. He didn't even look happy about getting lead jammer. I think he's just in a bad mood this game.
Yeah. I can imagine. They played Germany earlier today, and they won that with a pretty big score differential.
They did, but it wasn't an easy
game for them. No, the Germans made them fight for it. They really did.
Yeah, it got very scrappy at times as well. Which is
yep. Fish.
Yeah.
Fish back on track. Chino jamming for Mexico. Fish just going right after his blockers, who were doing some very hard-hitting offense for him. Penalty going to the
Naked Alien, I believe that is.
Naked Alien, yeah. The pivot for Mexico. But still not lead.
Yeah, Fish recycled back. Chino at the front with Shrooms and Scooby Zoom to be,
Chino,
which he does. No, he doesn't. It's a cut. And he nods. He knows. That's a good sign. He maybe he thought he was going to get away with it.
He was just going to try it. Yeah, exactly.
That's how you take a penalty.
And once again, England playing it safe. They know they have 6 minutes left.
Calling it without attempting any points. I think they've got a set game plan for how they want to start power jams.
Yeah, I hope you also saw Omar Gerd showing off a little bit.
He's been in a bouncy party mood for the past 3 days.
Yeah,
I saw him on Wednesday, sunburn, and he was happy and dancing. I was like, that's just strange. Like, I've had sunburn once. It was the worst thing in my life.
Well, he is English. They're used to it.
I'm not 100% English.
Oh,
I shouldn't. I didn't burn.
You should be bothered more by it. But
Waterman
there we go.
One of
them. Yeah.
Lead jammer. Kirkham drops back, trying to goat Naked Alien. Naked Alien, one of those blockers. You don't want to try and goat him. He's too good for that.
Yeah, he's just tiptoeing, either tiptoeing around you, or he's just going to go right through you. Wonderman in the meantime. Putting the points on the board here. Yeah, exactly. Being awarded the full Grand Slam here. Meantime, Chino is released from the penalty box.
We have 5 minutes left on the game clock as Waterman rounds the hit of Michael C on the line. Rarely to see Michael C be beaten on the line.
He just moves with them. Like, he gets a hit. He's not even put off balance. He will just twirl his hips around them a little bit.
Waterman, a very experienced skater who packs a lot of strength and athleticism into those skates and does beautifully well to ride the hit from Michael C again.
I sometimes almost feel like they're using the rope. Like, oh, I just getting that little bit. Off support on staying inside, but it is enough. There we go. You know, and if that's not possible, I'll just put one foot in the air and just go on one foot.
It's an interesting combination. He plays like a physical Blammer style with the footwork of a jukey jammer. It's an interesting puzzle for most teams to try and solve.
But he also has really quick footwork. It's like, and we have a couple of those jammers here at the tournament. Kind of like I like to describe them as a combination of a ballerina and a tank. Like, we have Optimus Grime, Mr. Testosterone, we have Waterman just now, and you know, proof of that is that we just had the higher scoring jam. Yeah, 20 points going to England, bringing their total up to 221 versus 80 points for Mexico. 3.5 minutes left on the clock.
Would you call them a tank arena?
I would like that, tank arena.
I'm going with tank arena. That is now what we're going to describe.
The official term.
But at the track just before corner one, Silencio sneaking through the pack with ease, picking up lead jammer. Nawal picking up a cut track as Sully has recycled back. 3 blockers on track for Sully to beat for England as Silencio tries to get through on the inside, but Illbilly is going to go for a forearms penalty. No, sorry, not Illbilly. Party Boy going
I think
for a
he is. He's just not realizing he got a penalty. Yes, he's going now, signaling
6
to his coach that he's going. Yeah.
That's either 6, potentially 7. I've not been counting. We will find out. But Silencio is lead. It's 6. I am being indicated by one of the many announcers around me.
We're quite a nice crew here.
Oh.
Sully all the way back in the pack again, but once he is able to pass everyone one by one, and that's what we keep thinking. We keep thinking, oh, they're just passing one by one. Silencio almost going inside, getting a cut track penalty.
Oh, he was doing so well, and a cut track penalty issued to Silencio.
Yep, another power jam going to England here. He did put 5 points on the board already, Silencio, but now...
One of the bench staff for England, Ramsey, indicating to Illbilly, calm down. With the very firm hands, palms down, to the floor, calm.
Exactly, there is really... Oh, we've had a star pass onto Omar Gerd. He's like, if you want me to be calm, I'll just walk. I'm just going to stand here in front of people.
This is the second star pass we've had for England. One to Alien Al, 1-0-0, and this one now to Omar Gerd, 0-0-0.
And as you mentioned before, he used to be a jammer. Ooh, gets knocked out by Drigger there, but so does Silencio. That last hit didn't even hit him. He was already on the ground.
I have blocked against Omar Gerd as a jammer many years ago. That was not fun.
No.
But he's going to take that easy. He doesn't want to pick up a penalty. He's got a pack to play with.
4 more points being signaled to England, bringing the total up to 7 for this jam. 2 more points to Mexico.
Fun fact for you, that game where I blocked against Omar Gerd, I was actually playing with Shrooms in Shrooms' first ever game.
Aww.
There you go.
Baby Shroom.
He'd had like 2 training sessions and was the best skater in the team. It was weird. And obviously you see how that's taken him.
Yeah, you know, some people, they just have that kind of thing. And the rest of us become announcers.
My skates are firmly hung up as Scraplin is knocked to the outside edge over at corner 1 and recycled. Carla Fu stuck at the back behind a firm brace 3 of Banks, Kirkham and Spectral. Scraplin, though, out the front, spins around.
Look at that.
No pass, no penalty. Naked Alien did all he could.
But he is trusting his blockers to just hold back. And again, he is raking in a lot of air miles this jump.
Yeah. And as I said, he doesn't need much momentum with them to fly.
Carla Fu, however, is out now as lead jammer. He does not seem to be calling the jam, though. I think they realize that, you know, there are 20 seconds, 15 seconds left on the period clock. They're not going to win this game anymore.
Jam.
So,
yeah, the Sam's still going another minute, and it's and the difference, it doesn't really matter much apart from for rankings purposes, really. but it's always good for confidence, ego,
Exactly,
pride.
like you might just have the you know, all the fun you can get. Gets the points, 4 more points scored against England. You know, you can go home and be like, hey dude, I scored 4 more points against England. When I could have called it, but I didn't because I was having a great time.
Yeah.
Like fish.
Well, maybe they're close now to the 100 mark. That's an interesting.
That's exactly that as well.
I'd play for triple digits.
Yeah.
No block penalty issue to Party Boy. He's
partying it up with
get
cheese
out of
balls.
the way.
Yeah.
I'm watching this. Carla Fu trying to get past Banks on the inside edge. Sees a gap around the outside. Spectral closes that door, and Carla Fu's shoulders slumped. She's like, I have to do that all again now.
Yeah. Charlie Scraplin in the front. Gets some really nice offense there by Alien now, holding back the jammers. 5 more points. I was just about to say 5 more points. Oh my goodness, Carla Fu is out of that box. 4 more air miles for Scraplin.
Yeah, Charlie. And he bows to the crowd.
Look at how happy Spectral is there, hugging his teammates. An official score right now, 97 points for Mexico, 244 points for England, as the Jammer referees are going over to our scorekeepers to sign it off. And just look at this wonderful VMix replay here.
And quick one for you on the stat sheets. As Narwhal takes a selfie and then drops his phone. In the first half, 13 leads for England to 8 for Mexico. In the second, 12 to England, 6 to Mexico. 21 jams in the first. 22 jams in the first, 21 in the second. 5 jammer penalties given up, though, by Mexico in that second half. So you can see here that big point differential and all those big scoring jams unanswered by Mexico. Very, very tough one for them. England will be playing Australia tomorrow in the semi-finals. And I don't know who Mexico will be playing in that. I believe it could be Mexico versus Argentina. Ooh, that'll be an interesting one. But coming up here,
that could happen. Would be incredibly exciting.
That would be a fun one, for a good one for the South American Royal Derby. Over here on the M14 track next, we have Colombia versus the Philippines in one of the consolation brackets. And we're waiting for that official final score, 244 to England, 97 to Mexico. England obviously will be going forwards into the semi-final. I have been Captain Mellis.
My name is Exterminate, and our wonderful production wizard, as I like to call you because I love you all, has been Dork Mistress.
Stay tuned for Colombia versus Philippines. It'll be coming on here in approximately 30 minutes.